Okay, I'm live. So today is going to be a little bit different. This kind of goes with the first video I ever made for this channel, which had something to do with hair. But what I would like to say is, especially during this time while, Kamala and Trump are debating, I just want to touch on the fact that African American women has pretty much become a culture. And I do not think that African American women should be wearing scarves on their head because I don't think that it's an African American culture type of thing. When African American women wear these things on their head, we call it a bonnet, like the blue bonnet, right? And it's really only supposed to be worn at night. The only reason why African American women are wearing this bonnet on their head is because they either live in the hood or they decided to wake up and not give a fuck. That's why they're wearing a bonnet on their head. So I'm probably going to post this on one of my other channels because I think it's an important message because something's just been pulling on me for a couple of years to actually address this. I'm not sure if I've already addressed it, but especially like I said during the election, if you're not a Muslim, why is you wearing a scarf on your head that looks like a turban? Like it's just not, like I said, to me that's culture appropriation. And I don't think like Muslims are going to say anything because not only is it cultural appropriation, in my opinion, but it's also like taking people way back to slavery times when you were probably forced to wear something on your head because it looked displeasing and you weren't able to even spend time with your hair because you were too busy picking cotton for somebody. So why are you wearing a scarf that looks like a turban on your head? Not only that, for people, this isn't to offend anybody. I just think that African American women should really elaborate on their own personal culture. And I know with like work and everything, it's hard to do your hair. I think you're better off like walking around nappy headed than you are with a scarf around your head because I feel like you're giving out the wrong message. And black women can be very influential. And so, in being very influential and sending out that type of message, you might be advertising something that you don't actually mean to advertise. Back to what I was saying about culture appropriation and the Muslim community, they probably don't mind you wearing that because that's, and also African people who come from Africa, they probably wear something on their head, but it's not really an African American thing. They probably don't mind you doing that because you're kind of advertising their religion and you're advertising their culture, and that probably helps them with their mission, just like how evangelists go around and try to get you to do this. It's like you're really pretty much doing the work for them when you do that. Now, it is in depth and it is that deep to me because, like I said, something's been pulling on me to actually say something about this, and that's why I'm saying something about it. Also, our men in the American society do not like women having things on their head. They don't like African American women with things on their head. Even our African American counterparts or men, the opposite of our gender, they do not really appreciate us wearing things on our head. So, like I said, unless you are in the hood or you just woke up and you don't give a fuck, um, or when you're sleeping because it helps with moisture and it helps with anti-breakage and it helps with things like that, unless that's the reason why you're wearing it, I don't understand. Not only that, when you were a little girl, nobody's black African American parent told you when your hair was messed up to go put on a scarf. Oh, go put on a scarf, just go put on a scarf. Maybe a hat, but no. This is specifically for, no, this is really for the world to hear, in my opinion. So, most African American women who are parenting African American women, even boys, they are not going to tell their kid to go put a scarf on their head because most African American women who are raising children with hair, they're going to make sure their hair is done either every other day, they're going to do their hair, or they're going to make sure that they go to the salon every 2 weeks or at least once a month. It's important in the African American culture for your hair to look presentable. Okay, now I know that we can't always keep up, but I'm taking it even further and saying you better off looking nappy and wearing an afro than wearing something that does not look like your religion or your race or your culture because you're giving off the wrong impression. And we're kind of like in a situation where you also need to pay attention to the timing that you're doing things. Like right now is time for election. Black people and certain people are so influential. When you go outside wearing that thing on your head, next thing you'll see is like, I don't know, Nick Cannon or somebody with something on their head all of a sudden. Everybody's wearing something on their head all of a sudden. The reason why I decided to talk about this is not because it's just been pulling on me for years and I heard a voice in my head say, you know what, you need to start wearing your hair and you need to start, doing your hair and take that thing off your head. Literally, people are influenced by that, and people can use that against you, like I said, or to promote whatever they want to promote. Now, if that's what you're doing, and this is no offense to the Muslims and the people who actually wear that for another particular reason, because that's their culture and that's their religion. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying African American women always get extremely offended when they see white girls with braids, unless it's a French braid or something. Well, why aren't Muslims and Africans getting upset about these African Americans wearing these turban looking things and scarves on their head when that's really not your culture? African American culture is about showing their hair, it's about showing styles, different styles. And, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just so fucking lost that I don't know, but I have been living for a long time, long enough to know that a lot of black people weren't doing that. I never even really seen any black people in my school ever wearing something on their head because they had a bad hair day. Never. Never. Even like the people who were from somewhere else, I never even seen them wear that. But now you have more people who are coming over and they're showing, and I think that's good because that's their culture, that's their religion, and we can see who they are. We can identify them quickly. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm not saying, oh, you shouldn't come to America like that. That's not our culture. You need to know the American culture. I think showing their own authenticity and their own race and their uniqueness is what they're supposed to do, just like African American women are supposed to do with their selves and their hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can never wear a little thing, but you need to be aware of the time periods that you're doing it. And also, and I'm not saying that a Muslim can't vote for Trump and you can't wear a turban and still vote for Trump. I'm just saying you need to make sure that you're actually making an educated effort when you're doing the certain things that you're doing with your hair, as far as wearing scarves and wraps and different things, because it symbolizes different things. As long as you're okay with that, I'm just here to, help you awaken maybe some things that you were sleeping on, because this is what things were telling me. And I'm like, well, I'm not trying to represent that I'm a Muslim because I'm not a Muslim. And the only reason why I had used to wear that on my head is because I was just too tired to do my hair and I was going through a lot of things. But I felt good spirits telling me like that I need to not do that. Like that's not my race, that's not my culture, that's not my ethnicity, and it would be better for me to shine in a different type of way where I show my hair and show the beauty and the different styles that as an African American woman that I can wear. And it's a part of the creative world, it's a part of showing who you are. And I just think it's important, and that if we just get really lazy as African American women and just start throwing these things on our head just because we don't have time, it's gonna kind of water down and dilute kind of like the purpose of what our hair as a culture is supposed to do for the people. Like, the world is a coloring book, and you gotta put some color in it. Sometimes you can't just be doing these things. I think it's meant to motivate and inspire women to continue to be creative with their hair and to take care of their hair, and also to know that it's okay that you can't always keep up because of what you're going through, and that it's okay sometimes to go outside with a big nappy afro, and it's okay to go outside with a ponytail and have frizzies coming out of your hair sometimes. I think that it's okay, and not that you're going to a specific event and it's happening, but if you're already in the hood, like what's the big deal? Like, and just be more comfortable with who you are. The fact that your hair is, you don't wake up and your hair is straight, you know, you still have beautiful hair. So, and it's like, you don't know what those women were going through way back in the day, 1880s or whatever year, I don't know. And there was like slavery times and they were deprived of wearing beautiful hairstyles, and they had to put their hair up and they couldn't do their hair because of, whatever type of strange reasons they weren't allowed to or didn't have time to. And it's like, this is 2024. And we're still like, we don't have time. Let's throw a scarf over it. Like, I feel like something has to change and we have to make like a more powerful statement and really just accept ourselves more for who we actually are. Because sometimes I've gone to work and I've worn like Bantu knots. I used to wear like afro ponytails in high school. Like sometimes I go to the store and my hair is just like poofed out because I think that it's okay. It's okay to like be who I am, and everybody else could be who they are. And like I said, I'm not saying go to a nice event and not care. I'm just saying that you're talking about like every day going to the grocery store. I don't need to wrap my hair up in a scarf to look presentable going to the grocery store in the hood. I don't need to do that. That's exactly where I can be myself and represent my nappy, kinky, curly hair. People all around me are wearing like pajamas. They're wearing, coochie cutters. They're wearing all type of stuff. And now you're telling me that in order for me to fit in, I need to wear a scarf around my head like I'm another religion or race. And I'm not going to do it. It's the perfect time for me to represent who I am, what my hair looks like. If I could see you in your rough times, then you can see the authenticity and the true me in my rough times too. I don't need to hide who I am under a scarf. Like I said, we wear bonnets. It's part of the African American culture. We wear bonnets, but we don't make like scarves a design. Like I said, like we're from Africa or like we're a Muslim or something like that. It's not. It's just not our culture, to be honest. It's not. Also, it's not something like I said that our men like from us. They do not like us wearing scarves, and they don't even like us wearing the bonnet on our head. So I just think that women need to figure it out, like African American women specifically, Just need to figure out how to accept ourselves more and how to also be free. Everybody talks about freedom and all this. Well, if you're really that free, then let's see you wear an afro on a rough day going to the grocery store and not just like, oh, I'm gonna be so much more presentable if I put a scarf on my head and tie it into a little bow. Now you just look like an Arabian person that's a different race, and I'm sitting there wondering if you're a Muslim or, I mean, I don't know. It's just not cute. I don't like it. It's boring. Also, not boring because it's someone else's culture and it represents a Muslim thing or an African thing. It's just boring because African Americans are usually more expressive about their hairstyles and that like in that type of sense. They're usually more creative. It's like they kind of wake up to show people, oh yeah, look how I'm looking today with my hair. Oh, like in high school, people would change. Well, there was a couple people who changed their hairstyles like every day, and it would be like a thing. So the message that you're giving to other younger people, the message that you're giving to other people in the world who are easily influenced, I just think in the time period, the season, it's election time. You need to do things on purpose now. And if you're a black woman and you're a Muslim or you come from a certain culture, then by all means wear your scarf on your head, wear your turban, let the world see. But if you're not and you're representing your African American culture, I think you need to let that shine. Um, I think you need to let that side shine too, because there's already people who are doing the other thing, and they're doing it for a purpose. They're doing it for a reason. They're doing it for a mission. So you need to do what you do with your hair for a purpose, reason, and mission. And I just keep hearing like, don't put a cover over your light. Like that's just what I keep hearing when it comes to African American women and their hair. That scripture in the Bible that talks about not putting, nobody puts shade over their light. You know what I'm saying? Nobody puts African American women. You're not putting a blanket over your crown, like you know what I'm saying. I'd rather wear my crown looking happy than to be doing that. And that's basically from what I've learned spiritually, because these spiritual things have been talking to me and telling me, and it's been irking me. And I just decided today, like I said, I'm gonna do it because I seen two people on YouTube, and I wasn't even in the natural hair channel. I just saw two women who were randomly talking about certain events and certain things, and they both were like even in different categories, and they had these things on their head. One had it in a black thing, and then they had like a little knot right here, and then one black woman just had like a animal print scarf around her head, and I was just tired. After seeing that, I was done. I don't know why. I don't know what jumped in my spirit, but something just said, no, you need to say something now about this scarf wearing stuff on your head, and you not African, and you not Muslim, and it's not for no religious purpose. You is an African American. Your mama ain't never teach you that. Besides when you go to sleep at night and you barely did it then. Stop it. And don't be talking about why I can't get a man and why a man not attracted to me and you got a scarf on your head. One thing a man would like to see is what your hair looks like. And if you ain't got no hair, one thing he would like to probably see, I'm just guessing, is how you would do your hair even if you didn't have no hair. And I just don't think for African American women, a scarf is the answer. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not going to keep on going on and going on and all this. And I know that people also like to bring up this scripture in the Bible about wearing braids and adornments and things like that. Yeah, but there's also something in the Bible about a female trying to get a man, and she made sure she was looking real good, and the other girls made sure she was looking real good too. And getting her hair done and her outfit was a part of it. And, it's like, don't use that for everything, because it's not just your hair and your clothes, it's what's inside of you as a person as well. And I think that's really what it's trying to say, that, oh, all these, things you use to make yourself look adorable, and, maybe try to use your womanly wiles. It's not about your womanly wiles and how you can, seduce a person with your looks and your fucking lipstick. It's really about who you are inside, because if you're a pretty person on the outside and you're an evil witch on the inside trying to kill your husband for life insurance, then you're not a good person. If you're just a pretty person who gets your nails done, your makeup done, and your hair done, but go out there cheating on your man every day, then you're probably not an attractive person to that person, unless they like women who have an open relationship and stuff like that. So basically, it's just like, not just the outside, but also the inside. But do what you do on the outside with a pure, good, and knowledgeable purpose. Represent yourself, represent your culture, represent the times that you need, like summer, winter, spring, and fall. In the fashion industry, we usually have different colors that represent, like right now I'm probably looking real fall, but or autumn. Like we wear certain things and we do things in certain seasons, and like I said, right now it's election time. It's a good time to represent who you are as a black person. And also, you saying that you're a black person and black power this, but you wearing all that stuff that looks like another culture. I don't really understand who you are. Neither do the kids, neither do anybody else, neither do the rappers. Nobody understands who you are. And right now there's like a power struggle. There's people trying to take over predominantly black industries right now. So right now is a really good time to make a really powerful statement about who you are as a person when you're presenting yourself to the world. And ain't nothing wrong with an afro. That's all I'm saying. Ain't nothing wrong with frizz and naps sometimes, because you've been napping in the house. And that's just what it happened to be when it comes to a black person. That don't mean the next day you can't come out like bang, looking beautiful with your silk press or whatever, your little curls, whatever you got going on. You know what I'm saying? The most ghetto that black women that I know used to do was maybe some rollers. They would have some roller sets and they would go to the store. Then it went to the bonnet, or the bonnet and go to the store. But women really didn't go outside that. Now, like I said, they're going much further with, like, it's almost like they're stepping out of their own culture and race. And I feel like you need to stop. You need to put a stop to it. You need to put a stop to it. You need to get back to the you that you are, that the one that your mama raised, that told you you need to get your hair done. Don't go out the house without your hair done. And if not, just look like one of them baby kids, looking nappy and happy. And we'll see you tomorrow on another day when you look better. Until then, I ain't covering nothing up on my head. Anyway, so I'll talk to y'all later. I just had to get that out because it was on my spirit, and it was like the spirit team was really trying to push it out there. So I'm just getting it out there for them. And also, the very handsome and attractive men in the world, they want me to get this message out. I'm telling you, the talented and gifted men, they want women to really work on this. They really want you to shine your light. That's all I'm gonna say. You can believe it or not. You can say I'm full of crap or not, but I'm just telling you what the stars are saying out here. All right, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.